everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Blair and today is actually Thanksgiving and I was gonna sit down and put my makeup on anyway, so I felt like just turning on the camera and getting ready with you guys. Very excited about this video because we'll be using the new BKBEAUTY True Beauty eyeshadow palette. I have been so excited to get this in the mail and finally use it in a video, and this is the look that I created. If you're interested in getting ready with me and using the new BKBEAUTY True Beauty eyeshadow palette, please keep watching and let's go ahead and get started. Let's get started. I'm excited to film today, not only because today is actually Thanksgiving and I'm about to get ready for the day and I just figured I would sit and film it for you guys. But the real reason I'm very excited today is because we're going to be using the new True Beauty palette from BKBEAUTY. I have been so excited to film this video and share this with you guys. You've probably seen it on Instagram or on YouTube already. If you're not familiar with BKBEAUTY, it's owned by Lisa J here on YouTube, who is one of my absolute favorite YouTubers. I love her. She's just so genuine and kind and pretty. I just love her. So I could not wait to buy this palette. BKBEAUTY actually started out with makeup brushes that you've probably seen on YouTube because people are constantly using them because they're amazing. I have tons of them. We're going to use a lot of them today. I have the eye brushes. I have the face brushes. I have more of the face brushes over there. They're just really great quality makeup brushes. But we're going to be using her new palette today. This is what it looks like. I have used this once already and spoiler alert, I love it. But I really wanted to use it again today and film it for you guys. So that's what we're going to be doing. I have actually not coffee for once. I have some hot tea with lemon. I'm trying to not, I've already had 2 cups of coffee today and I'm trying not to drink coffee all day long, but I find, especially this time of year, I really want something warm pretty much all day because I'm very cold most of the time. I'm very cold natured. But I feel like I shouldn't be drinking coffee all day, every day. So I'm trying to get into drinking this tea. So I'm going to be sipping on this and let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I feel like doing the eyes first today. So I'm going to prime my eyes first with always my NARS Tinted eyeshadow base. This is in the shade Light. I use this in every single video. I love it. Even if I'm not wearing eyeshadow, I like it. Hopefully you cannot hear banging around in the background of this video, but they're actually doing construction, or they're building some houses across the street from us, and believe it or not, they are out there on Thanksgiving. They're out there building, so hopefully you can't hear that in the background. I was thinking they wouldn't be there today, but they are. Now that I have my eyes primed, we're going to go in with the eyeshadow. Kind of in the mood to do my eyes first today. First, I want to use this shade, which is the lightest shade in the palette. It's called Beam. So I'm going in with the shade Beam, and I'm just going to apply this everywhere, all over my eye, just to kind of set down where we put that NARS primer. Now that we've got that shade laid down all over the eye, I am going to go in with this shade, which is the shade Grace. It's kind of a light warm brown. And I'm using this on one of my favorite BKBEAUTY eye brushes. It's the 202. It's a really big fluffy crease brush. And with this shade, I'm just going to lightly apply this in my crease. I'm going to go in with a little more of Grace and just kind of keep adding it in my crease. So funny enough, this palette actually went live, I guess it was a week ago, a week and a half ago, and I was actually at Disney World with my husband when the palette went live. I was actually on a ride at Disney World. It was Splash Mountain when this palette went live, and I literally pulled out my phone on Splash Mountain in my credit card to order it. That's how much of a Lisa J fan I am. If you don't watch Lisa J, you need to. I will link her channel and I'll list my brushes and the BK Beauty things in my description box and the rest of the makeup too. But if you don't watch her, you need to. You'll love her. Now let's move on to another shade. I'm going to use the shade Love, which is kind of similar to Grace. It's not as warm as Grace, but it's a light brown. And with this color, I'm going to use this. This is probably one of my two most used BK Beauty eye brushes. This is the 202. It's a tapered crease brush, so it's kind of long and pointy. It has that tapered tip to it. And I use this brush all the time. You've probably seen it in a bunch of my videos. I use it a lot. And with that shade, I'm going to keep this right in the crease of my eye as well and slightly down towards my bottom lash line. Kind of creating my outer V just slightly. And then I'll pull everything else, or what's left, into my crease. I take a little bit more of that shade and add it into the crease again and to the outer edge also. Since I'm doing my eyes first, I'm not being super careful because I can clean up these edges later when I finish. So this morning, when I got up, you can let me know if you relate to this. I was just bombarded with emails about sales. I mean, I probably should have counted the number of sale emails I got today, Thanksgiving Day. I mean, literally everybody is having a sale. And I feel like it's not just a sale for Thanksgiving. Like, some of these brands have been doing sales all week and will continue to have them this weekend. And then, you know, tomorrow is Black Friday, Monday is Cyber Monday. I try to be mindful about what I'm buying, but sometimes with these sales, things that never go on sale have been on sale this past week. It's crazy. I'm going to go back in with Beam again, and the first brush that we used, and just kind of blend the edges of these two colors. But I mean, things that never go on sale, skincare that never goes on sale, makeup I feel like more frequently goes on sale, but there's been some skincare that's been on sale this week and today, that like medical grade skincare that you very, very rarely see on sale. It's crazy to me. And speaking of skincare, a lot of you, or not a ton of you, but a good many of you have asked me to do a skincare routine, and I will be doing that. The reason I haven't done it yet is, number one, I've been trying out a bunch of new things over the past few months, and I want to make sure that I have tried these things for a consistent amount of time before I tell you that I like it, or that I'm going to repurchase it, or that I have repurchased it, or whatever the case is. Just because skincare is tricky. Skincare, I never want to be the person that says like, oh, you need to buy this, or this is going to work for you, because everyone is different, and what works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. But I do want to share it because I have tried a bunch of things, and I found a lot of skincare products that I'm really excited about. So that will be coming. I'm not sure when, but it's coming. All right, now I'm gonna go in with this shade. This shade is really pretty. It's called Beauty, and it's this really pretty, kind of a warm chocolatey brown. For this color, I'm using this little BKBEAUTY 203. It's a really tiny shader brush. And I'm just taking a little bit of this color, and for this, I'm gonna start basically packing it in my outer V and kind of forming my shape that I want. This brush is a really good size for this step. So I'm just kind of packing it on here. What I like a lot about these eyeshadows is they are very buildable. So you don't get a crazy amount of pigment with your first application. You have to build it up a little bit. I personally like that because sometimes when you go in with a very intense shadow right off the bat, it can be very intimidating because it's just not as easy to get the effect that you're wanting. Sometimes you apply too much and then it's hard to get it to kind of blend out and soften a little bit. So I prefer, for sure, more of a buildable eyeshadow formula. Like you can see, I haven't even blended this very well. I just kind of packed it on there, but it looks pretty blended because these shades are very soft, they're very buttery, and they're just very easy to work with. I'm gonna go back in with Love now, which is the second shade we used, and the 202 brush. And I'm just gonna kind of blend out the Beauty shade that I just put in the outer corner. All right, let's move on to some of the shimmery shades in here. I'm gonna go in with this shade, which is a really pretty gold, kind of a bronzy shimmer. For this shade, I'm gonna take, this is also from BKBEAUTY, it's the 205. It's just a little angled eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna first get that Amore shade on my brush. And I'm gonna start kind of in the center of the lid and tap it towards the outer portion of the lid, kind of bring it up into the crease also. And I'll do the same thing on this eye. So since today is Thanksgiving, I've been thinking a lot about my channel and just a lot of things in the last few weeks. And I just wanted to take this second to say how thankful I am for this little baby community I have created here on YouTube, and how thankful I am for all of you that watch my videos. Even if you've only ever watched one of my videos, if you watch every one of them, if you comment, if you like the video. I know people say this all the time, and I try to think of a way to say it so that it comes off like I really mean it, because I really do. I am so grateful that you guys watch my videos. YouTube is not about anything for me except passion. The reason I make these YouTube videos is because I am truly passionate about makeup, beauty, even skincare. Even though I don't talk about skincare a whole lot, I love skincare. I have learned so many things from YouTube. Since I started watching YouTube years ago, I've learned so many things, and it's just crazy to think now that I actually have a YouTube channel, because I kind of touched on this in a video I did a month or two ago. It was a get to know me video, and I shared a little bit about me. I'll link it in the cards above for you if you haven't seen it and you want to watch it. But I kind of talked about the fact that when I was younger, or when I was growing up, I never felt like I knew what I wanted to do. I was in college for nursing for a while, and then education, and then nursing again, and then education again. And I ended up graduating with a textiles degree in brand management and marketing. But I still never really knew what I wanted to do. I never knew what that thing was that I just loved more than anything, and until I found YouTube. And I started making YouTube videos because I love YouTube, and I can't believe that I did that, but I'm also so happy that I did that, because that has been the best choice I've made for myself ever. Because it's just nice to have an outlet where I can come, and when I'm stressed or anything is going on and I just need to kind of disconnect for a second, and I have this to come to, it's just really nice. And kind of going off on a tangent here, but what I'm trying to say is I appreciate you. If you are here and you're watching this video right now, I appreciate you, and I just want to make sure that that always comes across in my videos, because I really do. Okay, moving back to the eyeshadow palette. I'm going to go in with this shade. This is a shimmery champagne called Brooklyn. And for this, I'm actually going to use my finger and my pinky. And I'm going to tap this in the inner corner and pull it over kind of where we put that bronze shade. I'm going to add just a little bit more. I think I've talked about this in a video before, but I find that when I put a lighter shade here and I kind of use it to form my actual eyelid space, it makes it look like I have more of an eyelid, or at least I think it does. So that's why I do that. I'm gonna do the same thing on this eye. All right, now what I want to do is I'm going to take this brush, and I've talked about this brush quite a few times, but if you struggle with wing liner or just liner in general, especially if you like to use eyeshadow as liner, you need this brush in your life. It's the BKBEAUTY 208, and it's the tiniest little angled brush. And what I want to do with this is take a little bit of the two very dark shade, or the darkest shades in the palette. So what are these called? Queen and Dream. So these two, one's a shimmery purple and one's a matte plum. I'm going to mix both of these, and I am going to line my eyes. So I'm going to get as close as I possibly can to my lash line, which is very easy to do with this brush because it's so tiny and it's angled. All right, so I'm gonna line the lash line just to kind of define it a little bit. And then I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of those two shades, and I'm gonna make a baby wing, or I'm gonna try to. Sometimes I will say this turns out better than others, but I love it when it turns out well. So I'm gonna take this brush, I'm gonna keep my eye open. That's another trick, is to leave your eye open, because if you try to close it and do it, it's not gonna work. And I'm just gonna try to create a little baby wing. Now I'm just going in and trying to connect it. And with this, what's nice when you do it with eyeshadow is it's just a lot easier. If you mess up, it's not that big a deal. You can fix it a lot easier if you use eyeshadow like this. So now that I have it kind of traced out like I want it, I am gonna take, let's see, a little bit of setting spray. The one I have sitting here is the Charlotte Tilbury one. So I just sprayed my brush with a little bit of that spray, and I'm gonna go back in with a little bit more of the purples. And I'm gonna just go over what I just did, just to kind of intensify it a little bit. Like that, and that's all I'm gonna do. I don't want it to be a super intense wing. I just want a little bit of a wing. And this brush, you gotta trust me, if you want to do a baby wing or you just want to get liner or shadow really close to your lash line, this brush is a lifesaver. I think that's as good as it's gonna get for today. So I'm gonna move on to my eyebrows now. We'll come back and do the lower lash line later. And I am first going to very, very lightly fill in with my Benefit Precisely My Brow. And then I have a new brow product that I just got that I am still experimenting with. Trying to figure out exactly how to use it, but it's very challenging for me. So I'm gonna try to practice with it again today. So now I've got that I didn't precisely fill in my brows, I just kind of underlined them and filled in like major gaps. And the product that I'm talking about is the MAC Shape and Shade Brow Tint in the shade Lingering. And this is the one that has the pen on one side and I guess it's supposed to be powder on this side. The powder side I have definitely not mastered yet. I've basically been just been trying to use the pen side to do little strokes in the very front of my eyebrows. So I've basically been trying to use this to draw actual brow hairs. And I've been using my Benefit pencil to just outline them. It's very difficult for me to talk and do this at the same time, but basically I've been using the pen side to draw hairs in the very front of my eyebrow. All right, now I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of my e.l.f. Wow Brow. All right, now I'm just gonna take a makeup wipe and clean up my eyeshadow on the corners. See what a difference that makes. Today I am gonna use a primer and I'm gonna use the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer. This is the Nourishing primer. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this all over my face. Now I'm gonna go in with some corrector and I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish in the shade number 2. And just lightly apply some of this. I'm gonna bring some up into my inner corner also. Look at that, the power of corrector. And now let's go ahead and do foundation. Normally I would do concealer next, but I don't know, I'm just feeling foundation. So today I want to use one of my favorites, the Bite Beauty Changemaker foundation. I wear the shade L25. I was wearing this all the time on my channel. This was my favorite for quite a while. And I'm kind of in the mood to bring it out again today. So I'm going to take some on my finger. For my foundation today, I want to use this. This is the BKBEAUTY 106 brush. I have had the 101 from them for a while. I like that brush, but I really wanted to try this one because I really love these dome-shaped brushes. I just personally, for me, really like that shape and the size. I just think it applies the foundation how I like, and I've used this brush a few times. I don't think I've used it in a video yet, but I got it when I got the palette from BKBEAUTY, and I really like this. It kind of reminds me of my Smashbox blurring foundation brush, which I love and adore. I use that one all the time here on my channel too. The shape of this one reminds me of that. It's very similar. Foundation color is such a good match for me. This is the shade L25, if I didn't say that. Especially in the winter time, this color matches me perfectly. So today, I don't know why, but I was very much in the mood to use Tarte Shape Tape. So I'm going to use Shape Tape in the shade Light Neutral. I don't use this that much anymore, but today, I don't know. It's Thanksgiving. I'm putting on decent amount of makeup, so I was just kind of in the mood to use this. And because this is so full coverage, I am going to use a damp sponge. This is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge. So something I did want to mention to you guys is last year, I don't know how many of you were subscribed to me last Christmas, but I did the 12 days before Christmas. I did a series where I posted a new video every day, and I called it the 12 Days of Palettes. And basically every video or every day, the 12 days before Christmas, I did a video and I focused on, or I used a new eyeshadow palette. And this year I was thinking of doing that same thing, even though let me tell you, it is very hard to post 12 days in a row, let alone the people that post every single day and they do it all the time. I do not know how those people do that, because it is very time consuming and a lot of work. So people that post daily, I'm amazed, because it is not easy to do that. But anyway, so I was wondering if you guys would want me to do the same series again, the 12 Days of Palettes, or if I should switch it up and do something different this time. But if you have any thoughts or anything, just let me know in the comments, because I want to do something that you guys want to see. But definitely let me know your thoughts. I'm going to go in with a little bit of powder on my face. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush powder in the shade number 1. And I'm just going to very lightly set my face. Okay, now that I set with the Charlotte Tilbury powder, I'm going to go in with the Hourglass Ambient Lighting powder in the shade Diffuse Light. And I'm going to use this to set under my eyes. For bronzer today, let's use this one. I haven't used this in a little bit. This is the Ilia Nightlite bronzer in the shade Drawn In. I've been loving the Bare Minerals Endless Summer bronzer in the shade Faux Tan, but I feel like I've used that like the past 5 videos, so I want to use something a little bit different. So I'm going to take a little bit of this powder, or not powder, this bronzer, and bronze up my face. And I've been using this brush. I don't know if I've mentioned this in a video. Maybe I have. But I've been using this Real Techniques blush brush. And I really, really like this for bronzer. It's a really good shape. I've really been enjoying it. I like this Ilia bronzer because it's matte, so there's no shimmer or anything. And it's just a really pretty natural looking bronzer. So I'm going to bring a little bit down my neck and my jawline. For blush, I'm going to use my new favorite, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Chic in the shade Climax. I've been obsessed with this since I got it during the Sephora sale. I've been using this a ton. I love it. Her blushes also give you a little bit of a glow. They're not shimmery, but they definitely do give you that glow. Kind of like you have highlighter on your cheeks, which I personally really like. Okay, now let's go back to the lower lash line. And for this, I am gonna mix the shade Amour and Love. So the bronzy shimmer and then this matte brown. And I actually have the BK Beauty 204, which is the smudger brush from them, but I cannot find it for the life of me. I've lost it somehow. So I'm just gonna use this little Morphe brush, and I am gonna lightly apply this on my lower lash line. I think that's all I'm gonna do for the lower lashes. I wanna keep it pretty minimal. One more thing I did wanna do on the eyes is use a little bit of my MAC Costa Riche liner. And I'm gonna put a little bit of this in my waterline. All right, and today I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes Mascara. It's funny, when I first got this mascara, I wasn't crazy about it, but I feel like this is one of those that gets better once it's been open for a little bit. You know, some mascaras, it's like they need a little time to almost dry out just a little bit before they get really good. That's how I feel about this one. And last but not least, for the lips, I'm going to use Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude. And then I'm going to use this. This is a new combo I've really been liking. That lip liner and this L'Oreal Color Riche lipstick. And this one is one of the plumping ones. It's called Coconut Plump. Super pretty, shiny, very moisturizing. So, really been liking this combo. Okay, and then last but not least, I'll use my Charlotte Tilbury spray. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was just random and kind of all over the place, but I hope you enjoyed it. And I did want to close out with my thoughts on this palette. I love it. I love Lisa J. Like I said, I will link her channel and the BK Beauty site below if you're interested in picking up this palette or any of her brushes. I love them. I love how the eyes turned out. I think it is so, so beautiful. I will probably do another video with this palette using the purple shades, especially this purple here. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and make sure to subscribe before you leave. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving with your friends and family, and thank you so much for being here. I am so thankful for each and every one of you. I will see you guys in my next video. Remember, simply be you.